Hello everyone, my name is Tom Thompson and I am a member of the developer support team here at Esri Canada. And part of our role on the developer support team is to assist our clients with the ArcGIS Developer Subscription. And one area we see frequent cases with is on the renewal process. And in particular, the issues we see most often with the renewal process each year is with users using the incorrect account during that renewal. And so in this video, I wanted to highlight why there are two accounts and their differences and which account you should be using come renewal time when your subscription is going to expire or already has expired recently. And so each ADS has two accounts. The first one, which is required, is your developer account or your My Esri account. This user is used to manage the subscription itself in My Esri. It is also used to access your subscription's single-use licenses, so your ESU or your ECP codes. It's also used to access your enterprise user type licenses for your enterprise deployment. And it also gives you access to your product downloads. The second user in each developer subscription is to allow developers access to the WebGIS side of our stack. And so that second user is an admin user for your Sandbox ArcGIS Online organization. And this user gives you access to your named user licenses, different from your single-use licenses, for ArcGIS Pro and App Studio Developer Edition. It also gives you access to consume premium services through credits, which would be feature storage if you're publishing feature services or tiled services to your WebGIS, as well as routing or geocoding. So there is sometimes two accounts with each subscription. I should note that some developers do not require the WebGIS component of each subscription, and so they only use their ESU codes or ECP codes. Those users may not have necessarily created a Sandbox ArcGIS Online organization. And so those are the two users that typically come with a subscription. And so each year, we sometimes have clients use the wrong account when renewing. And so when renewing, which account should you use to renew your subscription? You should always be using your My Esri or developer account. And this would have been the same user that you used the year before when first activating your subscription. If you have signed into My Esri with the correct user, there are some signs and some hints that will be apparent to you to confirm that you have signed in with the right user, which I will go through in a live demo shortly. But if you use the correct user when renewing in My Esri, it will automatically cascade through our system. And if you have activated one, it will automatically renew your Sandbox organization as well. It should take no more than 10 minutes and will only work on active or expired subscriptions. If you are seeing in My Esri that your subscription is canceled or you have unlinked your subscription from your user in the past and relinked it, the renewal process will not automatically renew that canceled subscription, and you'll need to contact us in support to do that for you. The important thing to note here as well is that by using the correct user in My Esri, you will not have to create a new Sandbox organization and new Sandbox admin user each year. If all goes well, the renewal process should only take just a few minutes. So in My Esri, how do I know that I've signed in with the correct user or with the correct account? There are a few signs. The first is that you will have a developer section within your My Organizations tab which is exclusive to users who have subscribed to a developer subscription. And when renewing, you will see a prompt or a warning to you saying that your subscription will expire on a specific date. So this date should match very, very closely to your subscription that has expired or will expire. And I'll point this out in the live demo as well. And so when signed into My Esri, I don't have a developer section. What does this mean? It means that you've signed into My Esri with a user which has not ever subscribed to a developer subscription, which means that you're probably signed into the wrong user. If you are renewing, do not proceed with the renewal process, as this is going to create another sandbox organization. And if you go through the activation process for that sandbox organization, it will ask you to create a new admin user, which we want to avoid. And so if you don't see a developer tab or some other signs that I'm showing shortly in this video, sign out of My Esri and try another user if you remember them. And if you don't remember your users, try using the forgot username dialog. So now I'm going to take you through a live demo of what the renewal process should look like for most users. And so where we start with the live demo is at My Esri. So my.esri.com, and it will take us to what looks like an ArcGIS Online sign-in prompt. And we want to make sure that we sign in here with the correct user. Will bring me to My Esri. And immediately you'll see in the My Organizations tab, I have a developer subscription. And within this developer subscription section, it shows my current developer subscription code, my username, the status of my plan, and its expiration date. So during the renewal process, if your status here is listed as canceled, the renewal will not automatically cascade and renew your sandbox organization. You will need to contact support to have us assist you with that. If you see active or expired, you can confidently continue through the renewal process. And so from here, where do we go? We'll need to make sure that we have our ADS code available to us, which we'll be renewing with. And we'll go to the overview section and licensing forms, and we'll enter the developer subscription code. And when we come here, we see two more prompts indicating to us that we have signed in with the correct user. We see, as I mentioned earlier, a note describing our current subscription and when it will expire. And then we also see a warning here in yellow, which states that if you are renewing your developer subscription, that you should be signed in with the username associated with your subscription and see a message like we see here at the top of this page with your current plan status. So if you do not have a developer tab, and when renewing or entering your developer subscription code, you don't see that note and you don't, and the warning is kind of misleading you in some way, you're likely signed in with the incorrect user. So do not enter your ADS code here. Make sure you have some other users, try those. Leverage the forgot username dialog if needed, and try some other usernames before proceeding. So what should a user typically see when a subscription is expired? If they try to sign into ArcGIS Online with an admin user which belongs to a subscription which has expired, it will show that your status subscription has expired and to contact customer service for assistance. In this case, we will just use our new ADS code that we received from our manager or from Esri Canada, and we'll use My Esri to renew this subscription automatically. And so again, we will go to my.esri.com, and we'll just confirm and make sure that we've signed in with the right user. So I have my organizations tab. and I have a developer section here. So far, so good. This is an indication to us that we have signed in with the correct user. So I'm going to go to Overview, Licensing Forms, take my ADS code that I received, and subscribe to it in this section. And you'll note the subscription has changed. This is because I'm using a different user, but it's noting to me that my subscription expired on December 10th, and that I will need to enter a new ADS code to activate the subscription. And so this is another indication to me that I have signed in with the correct user. So I will click subscribe. And if everything goes well, we'll see that the subscription has been activated. So we do see the status is active. And now what we'll do is we'll go back to our ArcGIS Online Sandbox Organization and confirm that it has cascaded through our system and also renewed that same Sandbox Organization associated with this subscription. For some folks who renew this, it could take up to 10 to 20 minutes for the system to recognize that your renewal has been applied in My Esri before it's reflected in your Sandbox Organization. So after you subscribe, if you see that it's showing your Sandbox Organization is still expired, try again in half an hour or so, and it should reflect your new status. But we'll see here, once we sign in my case, my Sandbox Organization has been renewed, and it's reflecting the renewal date of my ADS subscription. And so this was the renewal process in a nutshell, and it touched on the pain points that some of our clients see, and in particular, again, that issue is with the user which you've signed into My Esri with when renewing. So if any of this is unclear, or if you have any concern during the renewal process, please don't ever hesitate to contact ArcGIS support, and we will be happy to step you through this process. Thank you.